All right, guys, welcome to the show. A lot of stuff to dive into. So in just a second, we have some more devastating news coming out of Israel. Just wait until you see what Trump's got in store for us. Then we'll get to Joe Rogan, who is shattering all meat riding records when it comes to Trump. We have a new report which exposes how Twitter has been effectively rigged in favor of Trump and the Republicans. Basically, the mirror image of what was accused of Jack's Twitter when they said, oh, this is biased in favor of Democrats. Then I'm going to talk about the number one reason why Democrats lost to Trump, which is something very few people have brought up, but there was a great article on this that just came out recently. And Trump really is getting sick of Elon. And Elon goes full cartoon villain. So a lot of stuff to get to. Everybody, you know the drill. Do me a big favor. Please click like and subscribe and click that bell icon so you get a notification every time a video drops. And of course, you can support the show on Patreon. This is real independent media, not fake independent media. I don't talk to any advertisers. I don't take any money from sketchy billionaires or foreign governments. You guys fund this show on Patreon, $2 per month, $5 per month, whatever it is. We have that and the default ads on YouTube, and that's it. So thank you to everybody who supports this show. It really couldn't be done without you guys. Remember, in order for independent media to be real independent media, it requires basically small dollar donations, a little monthly donation, and that makes everything run. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into it here. So look at what we have here. Trump said to lift all military restrictions on Israel on first day in office, according to reports. Ceasefire deal between Israel and Lebanon said to be close to being finalized. Okay, let's go through. Amid escalating tensions between Hezbollah and Israel, President-elect Trump has promised to lift all restrictions and delays on supply of military equipment and ammunition to Israel immediately after his inauguration, Israeli Channel 12 News reports. The assurance from Trump's team came as Israel is considering a 60-day ceasefire with Hezbollah, which would provide a window until Trump takes office and implements the promised changes. Sources indicate that this commitment from Trump's administration clarifies Israel's willingness to temporarily halt military actions with the understanding that support will resume without delay once Trump is in office. So that's interesting. They're saying there might be a temporary pause now, but they're basically just reloading and waiting until there's zero rules that apply, which is kind of crazy, especially because, I mean, we're all kind of under the impression there are currently zero rules. Unnamed Israeli officials have confirmed the reports from Israeli media to Fox News Digital. Currently, U.S. restrictions include an embargo on a certain weapons shipment and limitations on various combat-related equipment, even if they do not involve explosive ordnance. This embargo has impacted Israel's defense capabilities, especially as the military now contends with active fronts in both Lebanon and Gaza, requiring strict control over ammunition and supply use. This pledge to lift all military supply restrictions starting from Trump's first day in office would allow Israel to replenish its stockpiles and alleviate current constraints. With the 60-day ceasefire, Israel aims to temporarily suspend hostilities until the new administration takes office, enabling a resumption of full military operations if necessary, without the existing limitations. On Thursday, U.S. Ambassador to Lebanon submitted a draft truce proposal to Lebanon Speaker of Parliament to halt fighting between armed group Hezbollah and Israel, two political sources told Reuters. Okay. The only time I really remember there being any limitations on Israel at all is for a brief period. The Biden administration said, okay, no more 2,000-pound bombs, because those are bombs that are so extreme. We didn't even use them in Iraq because we were afraid of the incredibly high civilian casualty rate. So let's pump our brakes on that because Israel has been dropping 2,000-pound bombs on Gaza and massacring every civilian in sight. So there was that happened for a little bit, but that was, from my perspective, that's all I saw in terms of any limitations whatsoever on Israel. But according to this, there actually are further limitations, and basically Israel does not have an unlimited supply of these weapons that they're using, and what Trump is promising them is, hey, as soon as I'm in office, there's no rules, there's no restrictions, and you will get more of the weapons and any kind of weapons you want for the war. Look, we told you this was going to happen, right? We knew this was going to happen. I always found it weird when people would talk about Trump as if he would be like a break from Biden's horrible policy on Israel. The only way in which he's breaking with him is he is promising to make it worse. he uses Palestinian as an insult. He says Chuck Schumer is a member of Hamas. He says Biden needs to let Israel finish the job. He's taken $100 million from Miriam Adelson on the condition that Israel is allowed to annex the West Bank when he gets back in office. Literally every single sign that has come out is he is even more extreme than Biden is in there. And Biden has been phenomenally extreme. But think about what that looks like, being even more extreme than Biden on this issue. Well, we're about to find out. As much as we were at rock bottom, it was not really rock bottom. It wasn't. Like, zero brakes on the car. Like, what? Bro, and this is already at a time. I mean, you guys know the numbers. We don't have to go through it. But it's important to discuss because these aren't just numbers. These are human beings. But we have minimum 50,000 Palestinians dead in Gaza. Minimum. You see numbers as high as 186,000 from The Lancet with direct and indirect war deaths. You have U.S. doctors who are in Gaza saying it's at least 118,000. You have kids being shot in the head routinely. You have literal concentration camps where Palestinians are being raped to death. You have a mass starvation campaign in North Gaza. We are currently witnessing another Holocaust. I mean, that's what it is. And Trump looks at this and he goes, let's ramp that up. Let's take away any sort of minor rules and regulations that may exist currently. So, wow. What else is there to say? We really, like, it was hard to imagine the situation on the ground gets worse, both in Gaza and in Lebanon. But that's what's being promised here. I'll make it worse. And remember, one of Trump's top donors is Miriam Adelson, who's all about Israel. Sheldon Adelson, her late husband, was all about Israel. He let Israel illegally annex the Golan Heights in his last term. That's Syrian territory. He moved the embassy to Jerusalem, which helped lead to October 7th. He did the Abraham Accords, which was basically buying off all the surrounding Gulf Arab countries to say, hey, fuck the Palestinians, they're going to be occupied forever. Let's normalize with Israel. All this stuff was begging for a response from Hamas. And it came, and now they're all in on wiping Gaza off the map and taking all of the West Bank. So, man, I mean, a lot of people said it before the election, including me. Without a doubt, there's nothing you could say that ameliorates the horrors of what's already been done in Gaza by Biden and by the Democrats. That's an ironclad fact. But it's also ironclad fact. Trump was telling you, we are going to go way further. Way further. And now we're witnessing it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.